If we're not at a Disney park, we're dreaming about being there, and a cup of Joffrey's Coffee Disney Blend helps. But what about when you're at a Disney park? The Joffrey's Disney Kiosk and Restaurant Locator will make sure you never miss out, whether it's a cool drink on a hot summer vacation or a great cup of coffee at a Disney signature restaurant. Joffrey's has you covered. Check it out at Joffreys.com.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The body of water that you see to the right of our forward motion is the Seven Seas Lagoon. The Seven Seas Lagoon is a man-made creation that took 3 years and the removal of millions of cubic yards of earth to complete.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott.
I'm Bob Collar.
This is ResortLoop.com. Bob, I'm wide awake for this show because I'm super excited.
Super excited and highly caffeinated at this point. Enjoying my Joffrey's French bistro from the rooms at Walt Disney World. Who better to talk about Joffrey's coffee, Tim?
Then do we have the man?
I believe so.
Oh, I love it.
Go ahead and introduce him.
Joining us on the show, head roastmaster for Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company, Mr. Chris DeMezzo. Chris, thank you for joining us once again on the show. Always a pleasure.
How are you guys doing today?
Outstanding. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. Doing well. Getting acclimated back to being here in Florida. It's been a hectic few months with travel, but I do love to travel. I love to go see the people that are doing all the heavy lifting for us, literally.
Absolutely. Yeah. The next time we're together, the next time we see you, I want to see your passport. I got to see. That thing's got to be full. Can they add pages? I mean, come on.
Yes, absolutely they do. Absolutely, but between visas and everything else, yeah, it gets it's a well-worn passport.
Absolutely, I'm sure it is. What was your latest adventure?
Oh God, it's been a great season for me. I started out in January with Colombia with Miguel, and then I think Andrew and I went in February to Honduras, followed up with Costa Rica, and then what was the last one? Was Guatemala. Wow. So I've been zigzagging all throughout Central America, and then next month we'll start South America and start with Peru. Definitely want to do another trip back to Brazil. And then hopefully, if I'm not too worn out, do Africa in the fall.
Oh, wow.
Man. Now, on these recent trips, are you do you actually purchase some coffee, or you just check on the farmers at that point? What you're actually doing? A
little bit of both. There's turmoil going on in the coffee market. I don't want to get into it in too much detail, but there's a lot of turmoil going on. Well, the market is depressed right now, and the farmers are struggling, to say the least. And you have to go and let them know face to face. You can send emails and that, but I mean, there's nothing like being in front of someone face to face and letting them know you understand exactly what it is they're going through, and let them know you're going to be there to support them through good and bad. And it's getting harder and harder for them to be able to do what they need to do on their end, because the money going back to them, is really not sufficient. And it puts us, you're caught between a rock and a hard place. There's only so much money, you can pay them, because you're running a business. And then if you start, trying to raise prices in certain areas, you get pushback. So it's like, it's a very unfortunate situation that we're doing our best to support the people. Like I said, I wasn't kidding earlier when I said that they're the ones doing the heavy lifting. You know what? I'm the lucky guy that gets to take all the credit for it. But if these guys weren't growing phenomenal coffee, I mean, I can only roast what they give me,
That's
So
true.
Great coffee and making it better is how I like to think of it. But, without them, us roasters, what are we?
That's a great point. You're exactly right. And, that shows through so many of the farmers that you have found that are growing just the right bean for you. Any new discoveries did you make on your travels?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're looking for ways to differentiate themselves and to add value. And, again, one of the reasons we go is, we want to find out, if there's any pain, where is that pain? Do they need some pre-financing for fertilizers or, whatever other, broken machinery, or, they need to add a fermentation tank or whatever that may be. If there's something that we can help them with that, really helps them, we want to know about it. We want, to be able to help them. With the way that things are, if they don't have money for either fertilizer or, insecticides or fungicides, whatever, natural disaster they're fighting at the time, what suffers is the crop. So, we have to be more diligent and careful, trying to find the very best of the coffee that we can find. And if you're not supporting them and helping them, it's going to be hard for them because it's out of their control. So
Sure.
you have to, we have to do our part as roasters to make sure that they have everything they need to be able to keep on supplying us with this great coffee. So, that's another reason why, you want to go and see firsthand for yourself, do they need help, and, what kind of help do they need? And then again, like I said, they're focusing a lot now on micro lots where they'll take a certain section of the farm and segregate it, and that coffee will, either they'll process it differently, they'll leave it natural, or they'll do a honey process, and that's treated separately. It could be as little as 3 or 4 bags and as many as 20 to 25 bags. And those are nice when you find them. The only bad thing is, they don't last very long, but it's nice to be able to change up and offer your customers, these really unique, delicious coffees, even if it's only for a limited time. You know what? In my opinion, that's great. Just makes you wait and with the anticipation for the next micro lot.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's why we always tell everybody, if you have a certain blend that you like from Joffrey's, you got to get on it, because that's exactly what you guys are doing. Is you're not looking at that quantity where you don't care about the quality. You have to buy just tons and tons of coffee beans, because you're just putting out, average coffee. You're putting out fantastic coffee in every bag, and because of that, sometimes it's limited. What was that one? There was a Hawaiian blend that you had that was real limited there for a while.
Yeah, it's actually back again. The Magyo heap, the elephant bean. Passed on it the last couple of years because it just wasn't there. The quality wasn't there, and Miguel and I just cupped this year's, and we were like, oh, it's back. So we'll bring that one back. But there's blends like the Disney Resort blends that we have to maintain the consistency.
Sure.
So those are the blends that, when I'm over there at these certain countries that produce the components of that recipe, that's the ones where I'm very, very selective. I can't really use these micro lots in any of the Disney coffees because they're so limited. So any of your fans, any of the loopers that are into origin coffees, those are the ones you're going to get the micro lot coffees. The Costa Ricans, the Honduras, the Colombians, any of the single origins, but the blends, those have to taste the same every time you have them. So that's where the 32 years of roasting experience comes in, that no matter what changes that might occur to the different coffees over the year, our customers will never notice a change, because we have to be able to maintain that consistency. You don't ever want anybody to come in and have a great cup on Monday, and then Tuesday it's like a completely different experience. And that should never happen. Everyone has to be exactly the same, and everyone has to be great.
Absolutely. And it does. You guys do it. Like I said, enjoying the French bistro from the room, and when we were drinking that, my wife and I are like, "Oh, doesn't it? All we need now is a balcony overlooking the savannah at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, because it takes you back."
Kingdom, you got it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And by the way, my wife's new favorite is the Origin Mexico. She loved that one. That was it seems like, and I know Tim's like this too. Every time we get coffees from you, we try and mix up and get something new, and we always find a new favorite all the time.
Well, it's one of the things I was going to talk about was there. Mexico and Guatemala were two countries that were devastated by the Roya, which is the coffee leaf fungus.
Yeah,
it's a fungus that it attacks the coffee leaf, and it actually defoliates the tree, and then the tree doesn't produce the nutrients, and it eventually dies. They were devastated, and because the countries are, not the wealthiest countries, the government wasn't able to support them like some other countries. Like in Colombia, when they got hit by the Roya, the FNC had a program where they just, and they were basically almost ready for it. They had replacement plants that were disease resistant, and they started to, put these out all over the country. So Colombia, they were down for maybe 3 years, and now they're back to record-breaking numbers. Same thing with Honduras. Honduras had ICAFE, which is their government agency. So when they got hit, they had, a plan in place and government subsidies to help these farmers replace the damaged trees with disease-resistant trees, and they came back strong. Well, poor Mexico and Guatemala didn't have that support, so they got wiped out. Their production was down, terribly for many years, and now both of those origins are coming back strong. Mexico is the place I forgot. I'm trying to get a trip there somewhere probably in August. There's been a few years since I've been there because I haven't made the trip there since the Roya outbreak, because they just weren't producing a lot. And then this is my first trip back to Guatemala in a few years. And let me tell you, I was extremely pleased. It's very rare that I go, and every round of cupping I did, there was all good coffees on the table. I was so happy because Guatemala used to be one of my favorite origins, and for the last few years it was just kind of and this year it seems to be that they the back up where they belong and producing some great coffees.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. Do you have any new origins that you're going to be coming out with?
Just I'll be I've got samples. And actually, when I get off of this little call with you, I'm going to go back and roast them up so Miguel and I can cup them tomorrow. I do have some geishas from Guatemala that I'm excited to try. And then now I know I'm jumping all over the place. It's couldn't have anything to do with the 3 espressos I had earlier.
No, not at all.
But you mentioned Mexico. We have a new sparkling. I haven't been there yet. I've been by it. The Coronado is opening up I believe, next month. And I believe I've told you gentlemen about Cafe Femenino.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Big fan.
Group of women farmers, women producers that we are actively supporting.
Yep.
Well, they're going to be using a Cafe Femenino Mexico in this resort.
Oh, nice.
And I was just visiting a couple of the Cafe Femenino co-ops in Guatemala, and they were one of the ones that were growing some of that great coffee. So I'm excited about that. That Disney's not only embraced the Alta Mayo, but also the Cafe Femenino. So they're doing, they're doing their part to help us support a couple of really good, hardworking groups that deserve our support.
That is wonderful. That's great news.
Yeah.
Great news. Well, speaking of support, we got to talk about, of course, everybody knows about your Valor Blend, where you guys are helping support our military, our veterans with the Valor Blend. But you guys just came out with, not too long ago, a Rise and Shrine blend that benefits the Shriners Hospitals for Children. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah. One of our people that we do business with had some sort of an affiliation with that group. And, they do, I can't even explain what a great organization is and what they do for children. So when we were asked to be a part of that, I was like, sure. And I said, when the marketing comes up with the name, and then I blend to whatever name. So when you have Rise and Shine, I'm like, oh, great. I know exactly what I want to do. I want to make a bacon and eggs coffee. I want to make a coffee that everybody's going to look forward to waking up in the morning and having that cup of coffee. And, to be able to know that you're putting out a good coffee, excuse me, that people are going to want more of, that only is going to benefit that great organization, is a great thing that I'm, always happy. We are always happy to participate in. We also, I don't know if it's on there, we do a Make-A-Wish blend.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that one.
That's new.
President and CEO is a very big supporter. He's somewhere, one of the board members of the Southeast Florida branch, and we do Walk for Wishes every year. We do a dining of, I forget what the name of that is part of, I'm so sorry. But, we're big supporters of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. This year, I was honored that this young lady, a cancer survivor, loved coffee. And believe it or not, one of her wishes was a shopping trip to New York. And the other wish was to come, and believe it or not, come to our plant and spend a few hours with me roasting coffee.
I love that.
That is awesome.
TV crew here. And again, that's just one of the things that, it's one of the little perks I get from, doing what I do is, knowing that, I was able to make this young lady happy, just by coming in and showing her what I love to do.
Mm-hmm.
And, watching her expressions as she, was able to come and try the roast herself and everything. It was great.
That is awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic. I do remember seeing that. How long did she stay with you guys?
She stayed with us a few hours, believe it or not. You can't put up with me for more than 2 or 3 hours.
Oh, come on.
That's about all you can take before you run out of your screaming.
No, we can both attest that's incorrect.
And then the military is something that, again, something I'm very, very proud of. And I'm actually, we had somebody that was running that and he's departed. So it's now, I took it on myself because it's something that I really feel strongly. When you go and work on these bases like I do, and, our service members, you never saw such a humble, grateful bunch of people, men and women, that are just so happy that you're you're here to give us coffee, great, and not only coffee, but great coffee. Oh, it's like, oh, Lordy, you can't do enough for them. Here they are separated from family, loved ones. Some of them are coming back from God knows where. It's just, it's humbling to, be able to know that you're giving them enjoyment. Because, God knows where they're going to be in a month from now.
Right.
So we're on some submarines. We're on some Air Force bases. We're on some Navy bases, and a couple of military hospitals. I was actually our coffee. I took a trip. I didn't tell you that, in Guantanamo Bay, of all places.
Wow.
I never ever thought I would end up. I was on Gitmo.
You were at Gitmo.
Coffee is being served in Gitmo.
Wow.
That was the trip. And I gotta Instagram those pictures.
Well, please.
That's the only social media I know how to do now. That's why everything is on Instagram. Got the dinosaur. You know how bad I am.
You're big on Instagram now, though. That is awesome. You and you know what? You're exactly right. Our military, our soldiers do so much for us, and they deserve the best coffee. They really do, because that's, in some cases, they're up many more hours than any of us. And Tim and I are up a lot, where we don't get a whole lot of sleep anyway, but nowhere near a lot of our military. And to give them your coffee it's well deserved. They deserve it. And
oh no, actually next month I do a show in Norfolk, Virginia, and those are the carrier groups and some of the destroyer groups, and there's carrier groups, and the guys that are on the carriers, there's 5,500 men and women on one ship. It's like a floating city.
Yeah.
And they run 24-hour shifts.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, yes.
So we appreciate that as citizens, and we thank you for helping them out. So that is awesome. What do you got going over at Disney? How's the store doing at Disney Springs, the Joffrey store?
Well, the store that used to be formerly Tea Traders is now Joffrey's.
Right.
A straight Joffrey's. And, we are constantly innovating, trying different things, new drinks, new specialty drinks. In the store, getting into the summertime. So, guys, it's hot during the day.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, believe it or not, Disney Springs is almost deserted during the day. There's not very many people walking around. But as soon as the sun starts to go down, it's like somebody flips a switch and it's swarmed. And then, on weekend nights, you can't even, they keep building parking lots, and as soon as they build them, they're full. So it's just, it's funny. It's night and day.
Right.
You can go during the day, walk into any place and be served immediately. And if you go down there at night, you can't get in the door. So it's just that time of year.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, I know it's hot down there. I get it. I mean, but for all those folks that are going on vacation, they've got to have something to drink while they're walking around in that heat. And you guys have some fantastic. I mean, you got the cold brew, you've got all the iced teas down there. What would you recommend if it's a hot day and you're walking around Disney Springs?
Oh, you know me, I'd go for the cold brew.
Yeah.
But I would do an iced tea as well. But I'd be doing the cold brew myself, a shaken Jamaican.
There you go. Yeah.
In that little, Caribbean holiday mood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you're serving shaken Jamaicans all over the place now, right? I mean, I know they're over in Tomorrowland.
the Disney locations have finally decided that they were going to embrace it. They were kind of wanted to see how it was going to work first, and I don't know whether they saw it flying off of our locations, but suddenly, they decided that this is something, and now, we're installing 3 or 4 different of the Disney locations with that same product every week. So it's becoming, more and more popular. I think they realize how easy it is to do, and how good it is, and it's a clean option. All the other stuff is heavily sweetened, and it has God knows what kind of creamers in it, and our product is a natural. It's coffee, water with flavor.
Right. And don't forget, folks, if you're, you enjoy the adult beverage, if you're of age and can enjoy adult beverage.
Stores or whatever park that we're licensed to be able to spice it up a little bit. Oh yeah. And again, at nighttime, that's a extremely popular option.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you have a fantastic location over there too, right across from the boathouse, right near
Paddlefish.
Paddlefish, yeah, that's a great location over that way.
The boathouse is where that little amphibious car goes out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right across from. You walk out of our store, and boom, there it is.
And it's a great store. And I, again, another thing that is so nice, and everybody talks about the cast members at Disney and how great the cast members are. You guys embrace that, because your cast, the people that we deal with at all the Joffrey's kiosks and the Joffrey store at Disney Springs, fantastic people. They are all just so nice.
Well, they have to be. We threaten them.
I don't think that's what goes on.
I don't get a great review. We take you back here, and we beat you all the hoses and stick you outside in the hot sun for 4 hours in a dark suit.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
That's what Tim does to me too.
Young lady named Nancy who does all our training for us. That I really should give her the credit. She does a wonderful job for us. Her and Brian, our VP of Ops in Disney, who's been with us, 19 years now, maybe. They're just, they get it. We've been a partner of Disney, and nobody holds themselves to the standards, higher than we do. We value our partnership and our relationship, and we take that seriously. And I'm glad that people notice that we really do strive for excellent guest service each and every time, especially in an atmosphere where you got a lot of tourists and transients. Our goal, we treat people like they were regular customers, and we're going to see them again tomorrow. It's not one, bam, you're done. It's like, what? The way we train them is, hey, pretend this is your local store, and this person's going to come in every single day. So you want every single experience to be a great one.
That is a great philosophy. That's wonderful.
And it shows. It absolutely shows.
I tell you, the relationship, I think, as much as you guys benefit from being at Disney and all of that, but Disney is definitely benefiting having you guys be a part of. That was one of the smartest moves they ever made. Letting you guys put all of the coffee in the rooms, and then allowing you to expand throughout the parks. I mean, it's just it makes the Disney experience all that much better, I think. So
we appreciate that. It's been a great partnership. I know I myself have learned so much from them on how the whole guest experience works, and what to look for, how to when something is not up, how do you handle it? Nobody's perfect. Every once in a while, mistakes, or you're going to drop the ball. It's how you recover from that can fix that guest experience, so that you're not we don't ever want anybody to walk away with a negative experience.
There you go.
experience, it better be short-lived. Otherwise, we didn't do our jobs right.
That's right. That's right. And again, Disney has such great attention to detail. Everybody talks about the attention to detail, from the second story stuff that nobody even looks at to the manhole covers that have little hidden Mickeys in them. I mean, the detail that Disney puts into the parks is unbelievable. And the detail you guys put into your product, into the coffees and the teas and even the swag, if you will, the tumblers and the mugs, that detail is very similar to Disney's detail to excellence as well. So
you know what they say, the devil's in the details.
There you go. There you go.
It's why it's always nice to rush. Everybody gets excited, and it's always, and I'm always the one that, hold on a minute, let's think this through.
Yeah.
I used to, in the beginning, think how foolish they were, because you'd have meeting after, and it's like, oh my God, let's just get this thing done. But then as you mature and learn a little bit more about how they work, you realize that all those meetings are necessary so that you don't miss any details.
There you go.
You go out there, you're boom, from day one, you're executing. Versus, ooh, I didn't think of that.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Well, you've certainly got the experience under your belt. What year was it that you guys put the first cart in?
93, maybe 93.
Wow.
Somewhere there.
Yeah. In Typhoon Lagoon, selling hot coffee in the summer.
3 o'clock in the morning, the idiots pushing that cart forgot that Typhoon Lagoon was sand. Didn't have anything. It was a cart on wheels. Let me tell you how that went.
Well, it went successfully. I mean, look at you now.
I almost died doing it. I wish I had a cell phone camera back then, because if you'd have seen the look on the two morons' faces when they realized it was sand. They had nothing to put down.
Oh my goodness!
That picture would follow me around for the rest of my career. That's
right. That would go viral. That's right. As the kids nowadays say, we go viral. Anything new coming from you for Disney? I mean, you got the 90th anniversary blends doing well.
We just opened in ESPN Welcome Center. Brian, our VP, built the Taj Mahal. It's huge. And I don't know if it happened yet. Cheer Week was coming up, and that's a huge event over there at ESPN.
Yeah.
Getting ready for the opening of the gondola, excuse me.
Yeah.
We'll be have a nice little place there where you get on at the Caribbean Beach.
Oh, nice. Will you be allowed to take it onto the gondolas, the coffee?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
You'll be able to grab a coffee and get on there and ride to the different areas that services, which is mainly Epcot and Hollywood Studios, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Everybody's eagerly awaiting Star Wars.
Are you gonna have anything in Star Wars?
It's close, but it's not in, but it's close.
Okay.
And I know Brian's gearing up for that. And then the constant remodeling, rebranding of our own locations that are needed a little bit of TLC, which I'm not allowed to mention.
Okay, well, let's not mention if it's unmentionable. That's fine. I think what we can mention is you guys have redone.
There's be some good stuff coming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and going to be changing up some of the coffee menus. We're going to go back to serving some of these micro lots at our carts. We've been on Mickey's anniversary for a while now. And I think some of the annual pass holders might want a little bit of something different.
Oh.
And they might not, but I'm anxious to get people to try some of these things that I've been traveling all over to find.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start switching up. I might keep Mickey's in certain areas and just move it around a little bit, so that if you're, let's say you're in Hollywood Studios one day, you might be drinking Mickey's 90th, but then the next day, if you're in Animal Kingdom, you might be drinking a Guatemalan Microlot.
I love that.
I love that.
That is great.
Yeah, I like to give guests different experiences. So they get exposed to as many good coffees. Who knows? They might fall in love with one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We fall in love with every one.
I was going to say. You fall in one, then
you can't help ourselves.
Then you want to try another one, then you find that you love this one, and then you love that one, and it's just a great circle to get in.
Yeah, people are always asking me, what's your roast master? What's your favorite coffee? I'm like, what time is it?
Yes, exactly.
At 9 o'clock, it was Costa Rica. At 10 o'clock, it was Burundi. At 3 o'clock, it was, Kenya. So, I don't have a favorite. Favorite I got in my hand at the moment.
Right. And it's the time of year as well.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on the time of year, you're going to want a specific type of coffee. I know we like to get, like you said, for the summertime, we like a little Jamaican Me Crazy. For the wintertime, we're always grabbing, or for fall, you got to get the toasted s'mores. And I still love that Biscoffee. That was one of your genius moves. That Biscoffee. Oh my gosh.
The Biscoffee?
The Biscoffee, yeah.
That's because I spend a lot of time on Delta jets, bringing my own little instant espresso maker and eating those Biscoff cookies on the Delta jets. So it was like a no-brainer. It's like, I gotta do a coffee that tastes like this.
Absolutely. And of course, one of our favorites always is the caramel mudslide. So, and it depends on the time of year. You want the peppermint one at Christmas time. That's a great one to have it around Christmas.
And the time of day.
For the fall.
Yeah.
I always like a flavored coffee in the evening, kind of like a little dessert type thing. Like your Dutch chocolate. I'm all about that.
Yeah. Those are all, probably the top 5 of all the flavored coffees that sell on the website.
Oh, the Dutch chocolate?
Yeah.
Love it.
Caramel slide, Biscoffee. And then, of course, the holidays, those are limited editions. So, people wait for those all year and then jump on them when Geo puts them up on the website.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can't not talk about the tea. My son has told me you got to talk about the tea because he absolutely, and I mean absolutely, loves your tea. The Earl Grey is one of his favorites, and the sachets. I said it, Tim. Sachet.
You do it.
Those are fantastic because you just toss them in there and you're good to go.
Yeah, it's one of those things where Miguel and I sit down, and I was never a big fan of Earl Grey, and then believe it or not, I was in Kenya, and I think I may have said this before, but Kenya is one of my favorite coffees, and it's amazing to me that you go to a place that, in my opinion, which means nothing to anybody but me, but you're in a place that grows the greatest coffee in the world and nobody drinks it. They're all tea drinkers because of their, their English, background from, the days when English ruled, so they all drink tea. And I went, after climbing up Mount Kenya, I went to the nice place that my exporter, put us up in. And I said, I think I'm going to go get a massage. My legs are killing me. So I go to get a massage, and after the massage, you go sit in like a sauna, and they said, "Would you like some tea?" And I said, "Sure." And they brought me a cup of tea, and I was like, went to drink it. I smelled the bergamot. I was like, "Oh no, I don't want it." But I said, "You know what? I'm tired. Let me just sit." It was the best cup of tea I ever had. So when I came back, I told Miguel, I said, "You know what? We're not doing this Earl Grey right, because when it's done right, it's really good." And that's when I, reformulated the blend to get it, to where I thought it tasted like what that young lady had served me in Kenya. And we must be doing something right, because that Moroccan mint, a chamomile lemon are, all, doing extremely well for us. And it was, it's the same thing. The chamomile lemon, it's like, it's either was overpowering with the chamomile and you didn't get the lemon, or it was overpowering with lemon. And when you get a perfect homogeneous blend of both of those flavors is when it's like, okay, now it's ready. And then, making sure you maintain the consistency of that. And then, boom. African Celebration, the one I did for my lovely wife, that's, it's hard to keep that one in stock. That's,
well, I can understand why, because that is a great tea.
It's got 5 different flavors in it.
Yeah. It is really good. And like Tim had said, that's a great dessert tea, because it's got that flavor in it. You have a little something, little piece, a bit of dessert, and then have that with your dessert. Oh, it's so good.
That, and it's naturally caffeine free, so it's not going to keep you awake.
Right.
And it's a rooibos base, so it's loaded with everything in the world that's good for you.
Nice. And that's one of the reasons my son, he's on a health kick right now. So if anybody's on a health kick, the teas are fantastic.
That's got everything you want in there. It's very, very good for you. Iron, polyphenols, you name it, it's in there.
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
I want to get back to it real quick, because before we let you go, and we know you're busy and you got to get stuff done, but you've posted a bunch of great pictures, some of the most beautiful scenery from your travels on Instagram. And what was one of your favorite places, scenery wise? Because you posted some great, like some sunsets or the sun coming up. I can't remember which one it was, but it was just gorgeous over the mountains. What were some of your favorite places that you visited this time?
I have to be honest. Colombia's beautiful. Guatemala. You saw I posted. I was up on top of a mountain with snow.
Yes.
They had some of the highest elevations that we're at 12,000 feet. There's just. I'll be honest with you. Every place I go, I find beauty. Every place, I just have to sit back sometimes, and I'm staring at it, and it's like, only God could create something this beautiful, and it's because it almost takes your breath away, It's just like they're just so majestic and how did this get here? It just makes you sit back. But each one is very unique and beautiful in its own right. I don't think I've ever been anywhere that grows coffee that I was disappointed with the scenery.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes disappointed in the coffee, but in the scenery or the people.
There you go. Yeah, you've met some pretty fascinating people on your travels as well.
Yes, I've been extremely fortunate. But it's just coffee grows in the mountains. So, and being a Florida boy where everything's flat,
right.
Definitely intriguing to me. It makes it a little hard to breathe sometimes.
A little altitude.
And they want to take you on a hike.
Right.
And it's like, you get up to the top and where they'll let you rest for a minute, and you're like, and they're like, "You smoke 3 packs a day?" I said, "No, I don't smoke at all."
You're at sea level all the time.
Exactly. I said, "These are sea level lungs." And you got little kids and older women running by you in sandals.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
Well, if you guys aren't following Chris on social media, you're missing out on some pretty cool stuff. And same thing with Joffrey's and all the announcements and great things that you guys are doing. So we are thrilled to have allowing us to be a small part of the Joffrey's family. So we do appreciate that.
Hey, it's been a pleasure. You know, I always enjoy talking to you, gentlemen.
Oh,
absolutely.
Thank you very much.
You too. Well, Tim, that is all I have for Chris.
Our friend Gio has come through. We have a discount code for you.
Oh, wonderful.
Loop 20 will work.
Loop 20. All right.
Is that for 20% off?
That's it.
Wonderful.
All right.
He made it easy for me.
And
remember that.
So I got to say, use the code Loop20. Go over to Joffreys.com. They have a brand new website. Chris, your people did a great job. They freshened up your website quite a bit.
Oh, God, yeah, that was long overdue. Gio has worked, and his team have worked very hard. I'm still, like any launch, there's still a couple little bugs, but light years ahead of where we were. Very, very pleased with that. They did an excellent job. They worked on it for a very long time.
Well, did a great job, and there's a young Chris DeMezzo picture in there, roasting coffee.
Picture.
and a great shot of you and Miguel cupping, checking out and trying to come up with your next great blend. So, but you guys are all fantastic, and we appreciate. The Loop 20, that's going to be fantastic. We're going to get a lot of good coffee out of that. So, Tim, you got anything else?
No, I'm just excited to go over to the website and use the new code.
I know we got to let him go. I got to do that.
I know we got to. Tim's got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the website ResortLoop.com.
Chris, where can folks find you? By the way,
you know what? I don't even know what my Instagram. Gio did it as a joke. Something in Spanish.
Oh, okay. Let us know. We'll put it in the show notes.
Put it out there.
The real something. If you find it, you're more than welcome to share it with your loopers.
We'll find it.
There you go. There you go. Well, don't forget to rate us on iTunes and like us on Facebook and follow Chris and get that Joffrey's coffee. What else should folks do, Tim?
Everyone, please go out there. And as Joffrey says, everyday moments that much better.
See you, everybody.
Vacation memories will stay with you and your family for a lifetime. The Resort Loop Travel Group was created with this in mind. Our fee-free services will relieve you of the stress and confusion of finding and booking the best vacation at the best price. After booking, we will continue to monitor for ways to save you even more on your vacation. We will check for any upcoming packages and discounts to save you as many vacation dollars as possible. Resort Loop Travel Group, gateway to your magical vacation memories. Get a quote, or for more information, visit ResortLoop.com.